Hello and welcome back to Roundtable Podcast. I'm Helix.
I'm Legend.
Yep.
And I'm Born.
Oh, we actually got a normal introduction for once. That's surprising.
Have I not done that before?
You may have noticed that we've given up with the cameras for now. This was kind of a last-minute recording. We're normally about 2 episodes ahead, but this time, due to an unfortunate incident, being Born having a disagreement with gravity,
And a van.
And a van.
we won't go too into detail with that because we're not allowed yet. But yeah, he had a motorcycle accident recently, so we've been a little bit behind on our recordings,
Which is understandable.
Yeah, but we've caught up now. We've got like 4 days before this episode comes out, so I've really got to hurry up and edit. But yeah, so this week we're going for another relaxed topic, one that we don't really need notes for, something we know quite well. Last episode, ironically, we were talking about motorcycles.
Were we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's funny, that.
Also, ironically, the technology episode never aired because it got corrupted.
Technical. That's funny.
So yeah, this week we're chatting about gaming. We're also changing the format slightly. We're shortening the episodes, but we're gonna record like an hour of one topic and split it into 2, essentially. Because
2 or 3, depending on how long we have.
We've realised some of the people that are new to the channel, which is most of you, don't really seem to like the long format.
Well, the new generation is basically low retention.
Oh yeah, so I've noticed one thing with podcasts is if they're not live, people aren't really interested in watching the whole thing. So, because they can just come back to it at any point.
Yeah, pretty much. And
So
then they just never do.
we're now condensing the episodes into 2 parts of like 25 to 30 minutes each instead of a 45 to an hour. We were very inconsistent with the episodes as well, I noticed. I was going back through them and we'd have like 36 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
So I've now got a stopwatch and everything. I'm gonna crack down on the timings. He says, even though he's just done like a 3-minute long intro.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah. So, for those of you that don't know, the 3 of us have been avid gamers for our entire lives.
More or less.
Yeah, man. I have been.
Some of us have been multi-console. Some of us haven't.
I have been.
I have been.
Oh,
We've all been multi-console.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
What consoles in particular have you owned?
Have I owned? Starting from the beginning.
The beginning.
I started with a PlayStation 1.
Oh, seems I've beaten you then.
Yeah. You're older than me.
Yeah, I started with the Sega Mega Drive.
See, I didn't, because by the time I wasn't old enough for a Sega Mega Drive. By the time I was able to game, PlayStation 1 had come out, so I got a PlayStation 1. Plus all my friends in school had one.
Do you remember, actually, now that I think about it, do you remember the odd design of the PS1?
Yeah, I did though, eventually buy a Sega Mega Drive.
Oh, so you did it backwards.
Yeah.
What about you, Legend? What'd you start with?
I think it was the PlayStation 1. Or an Xbox.
Oh.
See, I had a PlayStation 1 and a 2, but then I went for the Xbox 360 because my friends had it.
See, I'm the one probably with the most diverse gaming then.
You say that. PlayStation, Xbox, now PlayStation and Xbox. Still old gen though, PS4 and Xbox One S. But I did have the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo Wii, the Game Boy, like a lot of handheld ones. Didn't have a PSP though.
The only console I did not have, to this day, is the DS. So you had the Nintendo DS, and then you had the 3DS. The 3DS is the only console I have not owned.
I did have a 3DS for a little while.
That's the only one I haven't owned.
Yeah. So go on, Legends, what did you have?
PlayStation 1, the original Xbox, GameCube, PSP, PlayStation 2, 360. Got a Sega Mega Drive now.
Now?
I think it's Sega. Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with retro gaming.
No. I'm just surprised. I didn't realize he had one.
Yeah, it's in a wooden box at the moment.
So you haven't played it?
Oh, is that the one your uncle gave you?
Not my uncle. My missus' uncle.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Basically your uncle.
Yeah.
Will be.
PlayStation 4, not getting married.
Yes, he will.
An Xbox One. We were going Game Boys. We got Game
You
Boy
had an
Advance.
Xbox One?
Yeah. I had it for about
don't even know
an hour.
Oh, I wouldn't count that as ownership,
No.
brother.
I literally got it home, plugged it in. It didn't work whatsoever.
Ah, was it second hand?
Did it belong to sheep?
It was second hand, but it didn't belong to sheep.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't work, so I was like, you know what, fuck this, take it back. That's when I got the PS4, and that's when I joined you.
Oh.
See, I got the PS4 because you two had a PS4, and I wanted to join Trigger Clan.
Hey.
Then Game
That
Boy,
and I had no other friends,
Ah.
so I was like, no other gaming friends.
yeah, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced. We've had the 3D. We've had the DS or the 3DS. Oh, yeah.
So we've all had pretty similar then.
Right, nah, this leads into my next question.
Go on.
Which one do you think you spent the most hours on?
Probably.
This is a good question.
Probably.
That is a good question.
It's a tie between the Xbox One
Mm-hmm.
and the PlayStation 4.
Ooh.
Because that was at an age where I didn't have to ask permission to game.
You had to ask.
When I was a kid, because it was in the living room, I had to ask permission.
Man, I live luxury. Everyone had a TV in their bedroom.
Oh no, I had a TV in my room, but I wasn't allowed my console in my room because they didn't want me up all night, which is fair enough.
No,
Like
that's
I
fair
was
enough.
a kid.
Was your first TV like a little flat screen or something like that?
Nope.
Oh, so you actually had a fat boy like
I had a
that?
box.
I
Yeah.
had a box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
I also remember as a kid, for some reason, do you remember the circle antennas you used to have on top of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some stupid reason, I sat there with a lighter on the antenna.
I mean, all I did was bend mine into a triangle and it
But
still
then,
worked.
but then, what's worse is I went and just grabbed it. I sat there with a lighter and grabbed it and was like, "What else did I expect?
What did you expect, bro?
It's hot,
See,
of course."
For me personally, the consoles that I've spent the most time on is the GameCube,
Yep.
PlayStation 2, and the Game Boy Advanced.
I spent a lot of time as a teenager on the Nintendo DS or the 3DS, DS and 3DS, because we used to go travelling with the caravan a lot. Like me and my family used to take the caravan around, like touring caravan around the country a lot.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time on the DS in the car.
So what about you, Legends?
I like PS2.
Most time.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Now I'm interested for you.
See, that
specifically.
surprises me because we've always gamed on the PS4 as a trio or as pairs a lot.
Oh,
No, I spent way more time in my childhood playing games.
yeah.
Okay.
A hell of a lot
But
more.
here's my question: What game? What game? I need to know for you. What
Halo.
game?
Halo was a good shout.
On
On the PS2?
Was it PS2?
No, it was Xbox exclusive.
Oh, yeah, that,
11.
yeah.
yeah,
But there would have been the Xbox.
I,
then.
I just suddenly clocked that he said PS2
Yeah,
is the one he played
did you
the most
notice that I
on.
paused? My brain was loading.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, no.
Yeah, at first I was like,
It's
oh,
probably-
Halo banger. And then I was
It
like,
was probably the 360 then. I
It's
played the most.
360.
Because I always played Halo.
The 360 was the console I played the least.
See, I didn't play Halo too much because, once again, it was very good for multiplayer and I didn't really have many friends online as a kid.
I'm talking about like Halo 1.
Oh, Halo 1 was a banger
Where
as
it was
well.
literally all story, no online.
Ironically, I played Halo Wars more than I played the main Halo games.
That's funny.
I hated Halo Wars.
I loved it.
Um,
To be fair, I like strategy games.
But then splitting it into solo versus multiplayer,
Mm-hmm.
which do you think you spend more time on?
Multiplayer.
I think if I had a choice, it would be multiplayer. But I have spent more time on solo
All right.
because
and,
I like story games. So
and just to whet my appetite, because I'm curious.
yep,
What game in each category have you played?
as in
The
multiplayer and
most.
solo.
Multiplayer and solo.
Ooh, solo probably Assassin's Creed.
I actually could have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you know, Assassin's Creed's one of, if not my favourite franchise.
I just call it
Or
the glitch.
WWE.
No, WWE.
Which is it?
No, it's so franchise-wise, WWE I have the most hours in because I've had almost every single WWE game. In fact, I could probably show you just how many I've got. Is it in here? No, in that cupboard. WWE.
I see a Sonic game. You're valid.
WWE. I am valid or I'm not valid?
No, you're valid.
Yep. I've also got other wrestling games. I'm not going to mention one of them because it was an absolute fucking fraud. But this is my favourite wrestling game. I'll put it on screen. TNA Impact.
Sure.
So, TNA Impact was kind of the closest competitor to WWE for a while. Not in terms of like money or anything like that, but in terms of content. Like their quality of shows was so good that it was the closest competitor.
And that's your solo game of choice.
Wrestling games are my solo game of choice.
What about your multiplayer games now? What is your multiplayer game, the hours you stuck in?
I genuinely don't know. Because I've got so many hours in Minecraft.
No, but did you... Okay, let me put multiplayer as played with other people.
Yeah. So I've got so many hours in Minecraft.
Okay.
But I think it's probably... It might actually be either GTA Online or The Crew. The Crew 2. Because if you remember correctly, we spent nearly a year on The Crew 2.
The Crew.
On and off.
Yeah, man.
So
Level 1000.
It's definitely some form. It's either some form of racing game or GTA.
All right. What about you, Legend? Starting with the solo game.
Solo gaming, either Halo or Time Splitters.
Oh, Time Splitters, that throws me back.
Yeah, that was a banger. And then online, GTA.
It's GTA. Yeah, for you, it's GTA.
I probably have hundreds, if not thousands, of hours.
I
of this shit.
genuinely do not have the repetition for that game anymore.
I don't anymore.
I used to really enjoy it, but now it's just you can't do anything.
You drive throughout your garage, you turn left, you get a presser up your ass.
Well, that and the amount of money you need to get a car is
It's the grind.
ridiculous.
The grind is stupid.
Right. You do one heist in the campaign, and you're a multi-millionaire. You do one heist online, and you're lucky to get 100 grand.
You get like grains.
Yeah.
Even invading a fucking island full of fine artwork and drugs, I still barely get a couple grand.
You won't even get a couple mil out of that.
I mean, did you see that that hacker guy? What's his name?
Oh, what? He puts up by like 200% on each person.
No. So do you know the guy who sorts out the heist for you? What's his name? The first one.
Lester the molester.
Lester. Did you know he retired?
Yeah.
He sends you like a picture of him like on a beach with
his
a
fiance.
surprisingly hot fiance.
Well, he's a fucking millionaire. You think of all the people.
Thanks to us, by the way. All those hours
honestly,
grinding.
he got more money than we did.
Yeah, I mean, think about every player that plays GTA doing the heists for him.
That's why we've only got a couple 100 grand.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
He was paying for his new yacht and Bugatti.
Yeah, he's now a sugar daddy, you know.
Damn.
Even though the dude can like hack into anyone's bank account in the world.
So this leads to my next question.
He could have just taken money from Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, basically.
Bezos wouldn't have known.
Done it. He probably could have done it.
Go on, what's your next question then?
This does lead to my next question, actually. Right? You're approached by a shady man in a trench coat, right?
I have a trench coat, but shut up.
I don't want to see your penis.
Government official. Right? He shows you his paperwork. He can show you whatever you want. Right?
He's going to say shows you his penis.
And he turns to you, right? And he says, right, we, the government, want to apologise for underpaying you in the UK, right? Whatever reason or excuse they have, right? And they say we've prepared for you a cottage that's going to belong to you. However, we need to know what to do with it, right? We've sorted out the fridges and the beds and the swimming pool and whatever else, right? And let's say it's out in the middle of nowhere, the boonies or whatever, right? And all we need to know is what generation of gaming console and games do you want in your cabin? And you can only choose one.
Loophole. Modern PC with an emulator.
No PC. Gaming console. I use the word gaming console on purpose.
I will wait 2 years for Xbox to bring out their newest console. Because it is basically a PC.
Okay.
It's got Steam, it's got Epic Games, it's got Xbox Game Pass.
But throwing out all of the spanner destroying on my thing.
Okay, so just I have to have.
You have to have current or past consoles, and you can only choose one. from a generation.
I'm torn between a PlayStation and an Xbox. Simply because...
No, but you can choose... Okay, let's say you could choose a generation.
Oh, and I can have whatever.
From that... So, like, let's say you can have any of the rivals from that year. So, let's say...
I'd probably choose the PS4 era.
PS4, Xbox One...
Xbox
and
One,
whatever
1S,
Nintendo brought out that year.
Switch.
The Switch. That is a good gen. I'm not going to lie to you. That's
I'd go with that gen because backwards compatibility.
That's a good
I can
point.
download some older games if
No,
I
but
want.
you would get the games of that generation, not the past.
But I can't have like Xbox Game Pass and stuff like that.
You're in the cabin in the middle of nowhere.
Do you know what? That is still a good
that
generation
is still
of games.
a good gen.
So,
once you bring the Switch into it, I'm kind of torn now.
like, I've got everything from 2012 to now.
You do. So that's a lot of good games.
Yep.
That's a lot of my favourite games.
So go on, Legends.
Probably go nostalgic PS2, Xbox.
It's a good shout.
Wait, did the Xbox come out with the PS2?
Yep,
Or
Xbox 360, PS2. Was it?
Bro, what?
No, Xbox 360, PS3.
The original Xbox.
Yeah, they brought out the original Xbox as PS2. The PS2 is better than the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would...
The only thing that topped... The only game that was better than the PS2 games was Halo. On the original Xbox.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was it. There was
You know
nothing else.
And you know what?
Banjo and Kazooie was good though.
To throw a spanner into it, you get to choose a cabin for solo gaming and a cabin for multiplayer gaming. So one has internet, one doesn't.
Can I not have a PC in the multiplayer one then?
But the word is console. A PC isn't a console. It's a gadget, but it's not a console.
I'd probably still go with the same era because there were fuck tons of multiplayer games
Is
as
it?
well.
So you would have the.
Actually no, because I can play the multiplayer game solo.
You can.
So I'd go.
But you're essentially choosing playing multiplayer games or solo games on the same console. So you can't do both, unless you want both in both different cabins, which is what I'm saying. So if I chose...
So I can't use my multiplayer setup to play solo games?
Yes, so let's say if I chose the Xbox 360, right, specifically for the multiplayer cabin, I then can't play, let's say, Forza solo on the same console. It would have to always just be online.
To be fair, Forza was only online anyway. But you could
I played it solo.
You could play it on your own, but
There was one where you
had
was on
to be
tracks.
online.
There was one you was on tracks and stuff.
Oh, so you've got Forza Horizon and you've got Forza Motorsports.
Yeah, Motorsports was the one I remember.
I'd
Ruined
probably
my
still
God
go
Father.
with the same.
Really?
Yeah, because there are so many good solo player games of that era as well as
See,
multiplayer.
multiplayer, I would go with the same era as you. Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. But for the solo playing, it would be GameCube, PS2, Xbox.
It's difficult.
Mostly because I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z games, Sonic games, and there's a ton of good games on Xbox. I'm not going to lie to you. There's so many.
That's literally remastered of the original Sonic games. So
I guess you could win that way. All right, Legend, let's hear you.
That was the era of remasters.
Also, just to throw it in, what would you like your cabin styled after? You have to have it styled after a game.
After a game.
After a game that you like.
Let's hear Legend.
Let's hear Legend's
thoughts on what he'd have for multiplayer and solo first.
Yeah, let's not jump ahead.
Obviously, I already said solo, which was the PS2 and all
All right.
that. Multiplayer will probably be the PS4.
Joining
PS4,
us.
Yeah.
The PS4 era. Which
You-
means
you-
we would
mate,
just be online with each
basically,
other.
You will never split up the triggers.
Hey. But
Even a broken PS4 isn't going to split up the triggers.
It really
Because we're all
won't.
just going to go to PC instead.
we're all just gonna
Yep.
jump on PC, bro. Yeah, because we would have Terraria, we would have Gran
Yep.
Turismo, GTA.
And we'd have mods.
Imagine if these consoles had infinite memory. Every game you have, because this is an apology from the government.
Right, my one request would be the government have to pay Sony, Microsoft, etc. to allow mods on consoles.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with mods specifically. They can ruin the game.
But they can also increase
They
it.
can increase the game, but the thing is, I'm the type of person who gets carried away.
For example,
Yeah, like
Minecraft
Skyrim.
and Terraria mods.
Okay.
That like
Terraria Calamity, my boy. Once my arm is healed, I'm jumping straight back on that. The music alone.
By the time that's healed, we'll be on it with you.
Oh,
I will be. I don't know about Legends. It all
wait.
depends on.
But anyway, don't let me
time
get carried
scale.
away.
But yes, right. So
Depends how much I dive into.
What is your
lessons.
multiplayer?
he said PS4,
Yeah, I was joining
What was
you.
your solo then?
PS2.
Okay, we're up to speed. I'm up to speed.
You had a question about the design of the.
Yes. So your next option, because it's not going to be a plain thing, right? You get to choose a theme. Let's say, in fact, not let me not make it after a game, because that's too many options. Let's make it after the console you like the most.
After the console, we like the
Yeah,
most.
the console design.
Right,
you
I
like
need to
the
think
most.
about this Legend.
I need to think
that's about
such a good question.
Well, I don't care because I answer first most of the time, so it's your turn to
That's
answer
very
first.
true. That's very true. But I have my answer. I actually
you can
do
answer
have my
first.
answer. The white PS4. That's what I would have mine designed after. I like the light that goes across the center, and I really like the sharp angles and the white color specifically. So I would have the lighting across the top and even across the ground, and then I would have the PS4 saturated in the middle of the room, ready for me to turn on.
My problem is, I don't want a bright white room.
I don't have a problem with it. I like brightness in a room.
I think I'd. Right, I've got an answer now.
No, you said for me to go first.
Go on then, if you've got an answer.
The Xbox Crystal.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Run it
do
by
a
me.
Ruby one?
What was the?
They did on the Ruby one, yeah.
Run
The
it by
Xbox
me.
it was basically crystal. It was see-through with a green light.
So you just
So
want
you
a,
want
you just
people
want a cabin
peeking
as
into
a
your
window.
cabin.
Yeah,
Bro.
So you want a greenhouse, basically, not a cabin.
Light up green, yeah.
You complain about being a lobster in the sun, and you're just making it worse on yourself.
It'll be fine.
Nah.
That'll be a cool design though.
Oh dear.
I don't know if
You might
I
as well
agree
do
with that.
two-way mirrors.
It's
so
your
you can
design,
see
but
out
I
and not in.
don't know if I agree with that whatsoever.
Fucking hell. So I think what I'd probably base it off of the Switch.
That's a good.
'Cause
Wouldn't that
it's
look
a
a
nice
bit cartoony though? Depending on which colours you go for the controllers too.
Probably the red and blue,
The original.
the black, red and blue, the original. It's a nice mixture of calming darks and pop of colour.
Okay. So I'm going for the plain technology white.
I'm going for the nudist.
Along with the
The nudist, the naturist.
you're attracting a certain type of
He's
customer.
going for green thumb or brown thumb.
Both at this point.
Oh man.
I think we're not going with greenhouse. That's for sure.
Personally, I'm not.
Why would he go for all windows?
Oh, wait a minute. We have two cabins.
We do have two
We
cabins.
have two cabins.
Right.
We have
In
two
that
cabins.
case, the solo one will be Crimson Xbox.
Oh, I have not seen that either.
I'll put it on screen for those of you.
I've never seen these extra.
Watching on YouTube.
I think I've seen the see-through one that Legend's talking about, where you can see it's like slightly tinted green, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you can see all the insides, right?
I'll get it up.
I'm trying
I think I've
to-
seen the controller. I haven't seen the actual console.
I'm trying to find it. I don't actually know if they ever released the Crimson Xbox because they released a Crimson Xbox controller.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just type red Xbox. that might work.
That might work.
Oh, that's the Crystal Xbox.
Yeah,
is
that's
it?
exactly
Yeah.
the one. It looked like I've seen the controller for that. I haven't seen the actual
So
console.
they definitely did a red Xbox, but I can't seem to find it for the life. Here it is.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just. They also
Black
did
and red. Yeah.
They also did a solid state one, which wasn't an actual Xbox they released, but it was like one of the most popular skins that you could get. Because I'm not sure if you've ever seen like the skins you can get for consoles. I've got one on my PlayStation actually.
Yeah.
I've got like the graffiti style.
I had a gold one on my PS4
Yeah,
before.
and my Switch is Starry Nights by Van Gogh. But you know me, I like to customize my.
We love to
things.
customize our things. We do. That's just.
But I go really into it now.
Is it?
Because originally it started with stickers, but I'm now getting shit hydro dipped. I got the Mrs.'s Xbox controller hydro dipped.
Is it?
Yeah, and it was really fucking cool. It was like a C. I'm pretty sure I put it in the group chat.
You did.
I just haven't seen it because I'm ignorant.
Yeah, no.
But
No, because you said it looked really good.
that means I must have seen it and I've just
forgotten. Yeah, standard.
Yeah, probably on my iPhone somewhere. But oh, you know what, right? For my solo cabin, I might go for the yeah, because I've got the GameCube, the PS2, and the original Xbox.
Yep.
I might genuinely go for the design of the original Xbox, the black and green. Because if you think about it, if I'm solo gaming, I'm no longer feeling exposed. I want to feel honed in. So the blacks and the greens, I'm not focused on my environment. I'm focused on the screen.
This is a good shout.
With the multiplayer stuff, I don't really care if I'm dying a lot. I just love being goofy with the lads. So I'm not really focused. I'm just kind of messing around and running about and glitching the game out and things like that. But solo gaming, like I imagine, or especially on the PS2, if I'm playing like Gran Turismo 5 or 3, I think it is, and I'm just locked in, the room has to be dark. And then those green accents all around, especially like the X on the ground, that would look so good.
Yeah, this is true. Go on then, Legends. Your solo and your multiplayer
I've already
things.
sold you my solo.
What was your
crystal.
multiplayer one then?
There
Was with the aggression?
no one's listening.
What? Oh, I was listening. But I didn't remember if it was your solo or your multiplayer. There was no need for that aggression.
If anything, listen,
There's always need for
I'm
aggression.
slightly concussed. I can forget things.
No,
But
I didn't mean you.
no, I don't.
He's want to ask a question.
I asked a question to involve you, and then you just tried to fucking out me.
So funny.
I don't know what style.
You don't know what style?
Wait, what did you choose?
The same generation as you.
Ah, come on.
What, the GameCube and...
No, the solo was PS2.
Yeah, solo was PS2 in that, and then the multiplayer was PlayStation 4.
Oh, so you just chose exactly the same as me.
Yeah.
So what would your theme be then? Because we've obviously dumbed it down to an Xbox, a PS2, and GameCube, and possibly Game Boy Advance or DS.
Yeah.
Probably be Destiny theme, to be honest.
That's a good shout, to be fair.
Isn't that PS3?
PS4.
Mm.
Destiny 2.
Mm.
I always like the designs of it.
Yeah.
I prefer Destiny 1.
I like Destiny 1, don't get me wrong. But obviously we was playing Destiny 2 until we got really shit and you had to pay like extortionate money just to get the DLCs.
To be fair, I never really got into Destiny.
It is... You have to have a squad.
There was nothing wrong with the game.
Mhm.
It just wasn't my style.
Definitely a squad would help.
Yeah, my problem was when I first got into Destiny, it was quite early on, and one of the problems they had was a boss or whatever would just spawn anywhere. But the level of the enemies that were in this location were based at that time on the highest level in the area.
Oh.
So you'd get
Yeah.
like a level 100, like some snot-nosed kid who spends hundreds of hours on a game because he has nothing better to do with his life. Then you've got me that's working a full-time job and plays in my spare time at level 5 with this level 100 fucking boss just randomly appearing and squashing me. But the problem I was having is I couldn't get to the next area because he was on a bridge to the next area.
So, I've personally noticed the time. Do we stop here and I ask my next question, or do we continue through?
Well, we're going to change the topic. But we're gonna stick with the same topic, but we're going to change the discussion in the next one. So, ask your question.
Now.
Yes.
Okay. So, this leads into my next question, as I like to ask them, right? What style of game appeals... Like, let's say if I was to advertise a new game to you, right? What style would appeal to you the most? And
What
I'm
style of
talking
game?
gameplay, specifically, not theatrics and all of the stuff that's in theatre with the music and things. Let's just say I had a base model. What would appeal to you the most?
Survival.
No. That's
What,
not
adventure?
what I mean. That's not what I mean. That's a theme.
Like the actual
type of
gameplay
game.
itself.
I'm talking about the gameplay itself.
So, for example, like
So,
Minecraft's
Call of
gameplay would
Duty,
be mining.
GTA, those are two different styles of gameplay.
Right, okay.
Like driving sims, that's a different type. Then you've got like fighting, 2D
But how is
fighting.
survival not a different type?
because that can be placed under the same type of gaming as like Call of Duty and things like that, because it's first person
Yeah, but Call of Duty, you're
violence and
on the story mode. You literally have to follow a path, so it ain't really adventuring.
no, but
That's more of a shoot 'em up. That's it.
no, but what I'm talking about is
Adventure is like GTA.
nothing is happening in the game.
Oh, there's no story.
There's no. It's a base model. There's not even like a tree here, right? And I'm making this new type of game. Does it appeal to you? And what you see is what would appeal to you the most. Is what I'm asking.
So would we like a shooter as opposed to, I don't know, a building and
Yeah,
strategy?
like platforming, shooting, racing.
Oh, okay.
Shooting.
What would appeal to
Shooting.
you the most?
Shooting.
You prefer shooting?
You prefer shooting?
You see, for me it depends. Is it multiplayer or single player?
I mean, it's too early to tell. At that
So it's
stage,
single player
right?
for now.
So it's single player for now because this is base model. I haven't even.
So if it's single player, I like me a like building game, kind of like Minecraft or Terraria, where there's plenty of stuff to do and you're building up your base, things like that. I like those styles of games,
You
both
like base
multiplayer
building.
and solo.
Survival base building.
But
yeah.
there is a game called Medieval Dynasty.
Never heard of it.
So essentially, you start your own town and you build your base.
That's a strategic game, ain't it?
Kinda. There's only so much strategy. It's kind of there's multiple ideas you can do, but you're building a village, a little town. You can grow crops, rear animals, and then you sell them for money.
Yeah.
To pay your taxes and stuff like that, and to build up your town more. I love games like that, and I think we should play that on our gaming channel
I'll give it a go.
because I think you guys would actually quite enjoy it because
It sounds good.
it's a chill game as well.
I've never been a fan of strategy games.
It's not strategy.
Are you up in the sky?
No.
no,
No.
it's
No.
not Sims.
You are on the
Not all.
no.
most strategy
So
games
it's-
are you up in the sky?
It's
and you...
it's first person.
Oh, okay.
It's first person. You build the houses yourself. It's a bit. Do you remember The Forest?
Yes.
That concept.
Oh, okay.
But instead of a survival game, I mean there is survival involved because you've got to feed yourself. But like, there's no enemy. There's raiders, but they're not coming to swarm your base.
Yeah.
It's just you find a couple highwaymen here and there or bandits here and there.
Okay.
But like you can go hunting, you can build houses. Well, you have to build houses and you have to go hunting. And you can start a farm. You can get married and have kids in the game. There's loads in the game. But I it's not a top down.
Do you
It's
want to know
first
why I looked
person.
at this man? You want to know why I looked
Because
straight?
you know he's gonna get a wife and.
No,
No.
because he killed my wife and kids
Oh!
in Fable 2. This
Why am I
man
not
Came to
surprised?
my house. This man came to my house. Right, this is a pet peeve. This is an anger I've had with him for years. Right, Fable 2. Right, I was the richest man. I was the most evil man. Right, I had 2 families in this game. Right, separate houses. They did not know about each other. Whatever. Right, I had kids. I had wives. Whatever. Right, I hand this boy the controller. He kills my wives. And my kids get put into protection, and I never see them again. And I have never forgotten it. Because of all the
bastard.
absurd things that could have happened, he ran straight through my front door. Right, one of them was a seaside house. He ran straight through my front door and electrocuted my wife to death.
You bastard.
Both of them.
He was an evil guy.
Both of them. Not just one. He electrocuted both of them.
Fucking hell. So on that bombshell, we have run out of time. So we are carrying on the gaming conversation in the next part of this topic. This is episode 7. The next time we talk about gaming, where we continue on this recording, will probably be episode 9, maybe, depending on if we record more after this recording session. We'll find out.
Yep.
But for now, if you want to see more of us, hang around for a little while. We have got more episodes that have already been aired. Go back, watch them if you only joining us for this episode.
Or have the attention span.
Yep, or have the attention span. They are slightly longer episodes. Very soon we're hoping to start the board game series alongside this. Round Table, was it Round Table Gaming?
Roundtable games.
Yeah, something like that. Round Table Games. All to do with board games, TCGs, and everything in between.
I need to get my Pokemon deck ready.
Hopefully within the month we'll have our video game channel up and running. which will be separate from Roundtable. That'll be Trigger Clan TV or Trigger TV, whatever we named it. Where you can follow us as we play Minecraft, Terraria, racing games, shooting games, whatever we fancy. We are also going to be doing Indie Game of the Month, which is where we spend a month playing an indie game. If we like it, we carry on. If we don't, we don't. We choose a different one. For now, I've been Helix.
I've been Legend.
I've been born.
I didn't even have to tell you.
Yeah.
And we will see you on the next episode of Roundtable Podcast. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Insert.